Netanyahu's orange grows. Microchips is us. iPhone cameras us. Taco salads us. Vamos us. Olive Garden us. White cloth for us. Sabra Hamas. Hezbollah us.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Bad Hasbara,
the world's most moral podcast.
Hell yeah, my name is Matt Lieb. I will be your world's most moral co-host for this podcast.
I'm Daniel Mate, reporting to you live from the far side of 50.
He did it, folks.
And
he's 50.
I'm
He's
the other
50.
I'm the other most moral podcaster, and I'm old.
You know, here's the thing. I saw a comment on our most recent, I think, Patreon-only episode, which, of course, you can watch yourself by going to patreon.com/badhasbara and subscribing. Do it. That said 50. I thought he was 44, which I thought is I like that because that's not even an exaggeration. He was like, I thought you were, because, yeah, I see it.
Well, I like to say that 50 is the new 48.
Oh, yeah, well, it is.
Yeah.
Look at it. By the way, 48, great number to choose for the Israel-Palestine podcast that we were
Definitely.
doing. Definitely. So happy birthday. Everyone, please wish Daniel a happy birthday. We may be a decade apart, but we are in the same decade in our hearts.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to producer.
As long as you get my Ghostbusters reference, I don't care what the rest of the chronology says.
Exactly. I get the Ghostbusters ones. I get 10 to 15% of the musicals and almost none of the Star Trek. But, you know, Ghostbusters is what matters. Isn't that right, folks?
And the only thing I don't get is like the late 90s
new metal stuff.
New metal and like Sublime. Third Eye Mary, 7 Eye 6.
Third Eye Blind.
Yeah, all those
Eve
bands.
6.
You know? Yeah.
Bands with numbers.
Bands with numbers, yeah.
That's, Blink 182.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
What was that? 98 Degrees.
98 Degrees.
We love numbers. The 90s was all about numbers, dog.
Yeah.
Shout out to producer Adam Levin. He's always out here on the ones and twos. Reminder to everyone that we are doing that mailbag episode. It is coming up. It's going to be the week that we are in New York, which is coming up very, very soon. Get your tickets to the Bell House, by the way. There are still some tickets available. You can see the link right there. It is in the description. Go and see us do stand-up at the Bell House October 13th.
Come see me more scared than I've ever been in my life.
Oh, no. It'll be great. It'll be so much fun. And, the more people that go, the more people, will be there to support all of us with supportive laughs.
And I guess it's going to be like there are much less friendly.
Oh, yeah.
Like a lot of people would not want to make their stand-up comedy debut in front of, I don't know what's the capacity there.
Like 300
right. Like that sounds like a terrifying way for me to try this for the first time. But at the same time, 10 people at a Comedy Cellar open mic night, who are anywhere from indifferent to hostile to you.
That's worse.
It's very different than a Matt and Fran Bell House, podcast.
And not only that, but
night.
the audience will be there just to see the train wreck, and that's what's fun. That's why most people go to comedy. It's like going to NASCAR. You want to see someone die.
Well, let's give them a good show.
Let's give them the show that they paid for. But yeah, because we have this big trip to New York, we're doing the 2 shows at the Gutter. We're doing Bell House. That week, we're going to do the mailbag episode. So please get in your voicemails, 747-348-5259, or email us badhasbara@gmail.com. Make them quick, both of them, please. Otherwise, we can't show it. It can't take too long.
That's right.
Today's episode is brought to you by Middle East Children's Alliance. The Middle East Children's Alliance is a team of staff, volunteers, and partner organizations who responded to the urgent needs of children and families under attack in Gaza. They are currently providing food and hygiene kits hot meals, safe and clean drinking water, and psychological support. You can donate to them right now, and you should, at meccaforpeace.org, MECAFORPEACE.org. Please, if you have any money, give it to them. Do it now, please. Daniel, what's the spin?
Well, like you said, or like I said, because I jumped the gun and just came out and said it, I should have just waited for you to wish me a belated happy birthday. But like, as per usual with me, I had to draw attention to myself.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Like,
you had to make it about you and your birthday and the time you were arrested.
Yeah. Nobody, blank. Daniel Mate. Here's everything that ever happened to me.
Exactly.
Well, so that was this past weekend. But that was not the biggest, happiest thing that happened last week in my life.
Oh, yeah?
No, because I became an uncle last week for the first time.
I love it.
My sister gave birth to a healthy, beautiful, adorable baby girl.
Oh,
and I have a niece now, and I am an uncle for the first time. My parents are grandparents for the first time.
Uncle Dan.
And this is all very exciting in the Mate clan.
Yeah.
And I thought I would do uncle-themed songs and albums.
Fuck yeah, Uncle Cracker, let's go.
Not that era. I do not. I do not have that group, nor Uncle Tupelo. I don't have them.
Come on, man.
Starting off with an album by LL Cool J, his latest, also known as Uncle L. That's one of his nicknames. That's right. Which is sort of a creepy nickname. You know, do you sort of imagine him, you know, holding a bouncing baby, be like, "Yes, you're doing it and doing it and doing it well. Who's doing it well?
Who's doing it well?
Who's knocking their boots? Who is?" Anyway, this is The Force, his album from, I think, last year or earlier this year. It's excellent. There's a song on here where he just out-raps Eminem so absolutely thoroughly, and Eminem's doing his best to do his rappity-rap thing, but LL is just absolutely more effortless and classy.
That's why I didn't know he was still making albums.
He sure is. Yeah. Q-Tip from A Tribe Called Quest executive produced this album.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Tom Waits, Rain Dogs, has the song Cemetery Polka, which has like 8 different uncles in the lyrics. Uncle Vernon, Uncle Biltmore, Uncle William, Uncle Violet, Uncle Bill, Uncle Phil. Uncle Vernon, independent as a hog on ice.
You know what I would like to see is some sort of, I don't know, Tom Waits doing covers of, let's say,
C is for Cookie.
I was gonna say Old Dirty Bastard, or maybe like DMX. Like, can you imagine him doing?
Oh, baby, I like it raw.
Oh, there's a Rough Riders roll. I would love that. Stop, drop, flip it up, skip it up, squat. You know, because he also does a little bit of scat. I love him.
The Woodstock soundtrack, which has the song "I Feel Like I'm Fixing to Die" Rag by Country Joe and the Fish, which starts with the line, "Come on, all you big strong men, Uncle Sam needs your help again."
There we go.
Got himself in a terrible jam way down yonder in Vietnam. Uncle Sam reference. All right, and then we got some actual uncle titles. Uncle John's Band by The Grateful Dead on Working Man's Dead.
Sure.
Lovely tune. Uncle Albert / Admiral Halsey by Paul McCartney on the beautiful album Ram that he did with his wife Linda.
Cool.
That's a cute song. Liz Phair's White Chocolate Space Egg album has the song Uncle Alvarez.
There we go.
And finally, and this is a midlife crisis splurge if ever there was one.
Go ahead.
Shut your funky face, Uncle Fucker.
Yeah. You're a boner-biting bastard, Uncle Fuck.
You fucked your uncle yesterday.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh, the bigger, longer, and uncut soundtrack. It's truly amazing just how all in they went on the songs and in that musical. Mark Shaman, who wrote Hairspray, co-wrote some of the songs with.
That's right.
But Uncle Fucker, one of the first time I ever saw it in the theaters, I lost my fucking mind. I was scream crying.
Yes. Super like underrated musical. And I feel like that's something with South Park in general. It is musically underrated. And I mean, maybe it's perfectly rated. I could be wrong, but
Yeah.
like I listened to the Mr. Hanky Christmas album pretty much every year. And it's like not on anyone's radar, but it's like I've been listening to it since like 2000, and I think it's fantastic.
Well, they genuinely love musical theater.
They do.
They like unironically love it.
Yeah. I mean, they made a musical. They made, other than South Park musical, they made Book of Mormon with Robert Lopez. Yeah.
Uncle Fucker.
Great song.
Any Uncle Fuckers out there, hit me up in my DMs.
Shout out to Uncle Fuckers. So that's what's spinning. But you brought up South Park, and I think before we intro the guest, there's been a lot of talk about the most recent South Park episode. Although by the time this comes out, it may not have been the most recent.
It will be, because they're on a 2-week rollover schedule right now. They're taking their time with each one. And this past one, interestingly, they had to push back an extra week. They just couldn't get it done by the 2-week mark, so it took 3 weeks. And I have to think that there was 2 factors to that. Number one, the Charlie Kirk murder happened during that time.
Yes.
And they had parodied Charlie Kirk in first episode of the season.
Yes.
So I'm sure they were reeling from that, and what do we do?
Right.
And secondly, the topic itself that they chose to go at in this episode, I got the sense that they really wanted to do it extremely gingerly, carefully, and in their own way, precisely.
Sure. Yeah. And that topic in particular was a B story about how there's a betting app, a bunch of betting apps where people make bets. They're talking about Polymarket and all those fucking, those apps. And someone had placed a bet on what's the likelihood of Sheila Broflovsky, was just Kyle's mom, bombing a Palestinian hospital
in Gaza. Yeah.
Yes.
And the way that, they're just Eric Cartman is just showing Kyle the app. He's like, what is that? And he's just rolling through all these different bets. Like, will the Chiefs score 2 field goals, whatever? Like, what's the likelihood that this celebrity will break up with that celebrity? Like, just on. And just in the middle of the list is, will Sheila Broflovsky bomb a Palestinian hospital in Gaza? So on and so forth.
Yeah,
Kyle's like, wait, what the fuck?
Yes. And it seems to be, at least with this storyline, the episode is about like, oh no, if Kyle's mom finds out about this, then she's going to get really mad, and who knows what's going to happen. And people start taking the bet. They go, I think she's about to bomb, she's going to bomb a Palestinian hospital. And it's sort of about anti-Semitism, stoking anti-Semitism, and reactions to anti-Semitism causing more anti-Semitism, and it ends with this moment, which I will play. But of course, if you're watching this on YouTube, you might see it just completely disappeared because of the fact that there's like copyright laws and stuff like that. So we'll see how much of it we can get away with.
There you are, Mr. Netanyahu! Just who do you think you are? Killing thousands and flattening neighborhoods, then wrapping yourself in Judaism like it's some shield from criticism. You're making life for Jews miserable and life for American Jews impossible. Oh, don't you roll your eyes at me, mister. You know what you're doing, and you're doing it on purpose. Well, now you can just sit in that chair, because I'm not going anywhere, Buster. I've been to every PTA meeting, every school board meeting.
That's how the episode ends.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that is how the episode ends, and I mean, it's interesting. The freakouts have been plentiful. Daniel, what initially you watched the episode. What were your thoughts on it?
Well, look, you got to frame it in terms of there are no Palestinians in the episode. It does not humanize Palestinians. It does not highlight the suffering in Gaza.
Nope.
It is South Park, for better and for worse. And South Park, to do the kind of comedy they do, they're always trying to strike a sort of, not even in the middle position, but a sort of off to the side position, looking at not just the issues themselves, but the way the issues are being talked about.
Right.
And it's not going to satisfy everybody. Maybe it won't satisfy anybody. I thought it was extremely well done. It was a very light touch, and they didn't hammer it home very hard, but there were like 3 or 4 moments throughout the episode, which I just thought were all fantastic. Like that first moment when Kyle freaks out at Cartman about this.
Yeah.
And he says, why the hell would people think that my mom's going to bomb a Palestinian hospital in Gaza?
Yeah.
And Cartman goes, because she's Jewish.
Yeah. No, but then, you know, they're laughing about how, you know, the idea that you can't make a joke out of it, can't even talk about it, which I think is, you know, is something that at least on this podcast, we've like striven to like normalize, which is like Israel should be made fun of. It should be an evil apartheid state that's doing a genocide. At the very least, it should be being made fun of.
That's right. And we're in a position that we know how to do that very well and very easily. It comes,
or we try,
you know, but like
do our best.
You know, our identities,
Yeah.
if they do nothing else, they give us a kind of satirical leg up. But there's also a sense that it's so fucking horrible that you can't joke about it.
Right.
You know? And there's a kind of tacit acknowledgement of this almost unparodyable situation in the world that is so intractable and so ongoing. And yeah, our podcast does not exist in the South Park universe. I thought overall they handled it quite smartly. And the fact that everyone thinks that she's going to go over there and bomb Gaza,
and instead
she goes over and gives Netanyahu a piece of her mind. And that little, you know, that's a very economical little piece of writing, her little monologue there. But you think of the things she says. There you are, Mr. Netanyahu, killing thousands of people, flattening neighborhoods, and then wrapping yourself in the cloak of Judaism like it's a shield against criticism.
Yeah. Yeah. And not only that, but also like, you know, she goes there specifically to find out who's responsible for this. And she's looking for who's responsible for this particular bet, but specifically who's responsible for this uptick in anti-Semitism that she is singularly experiencing, because no one else
is about her.
Yeah, it's about her. No one else is asking about it. Like, they're just asking about her. And you think, you know, the joke of the episode or the misdirection is, oh no, she's gonna, you know, do what the bet says, but instead, it's essentially blaming anti-Semitism, or blaming Netanyahu for creating a lot of this anti-Semitism, which is like, you know, you can look at it in the way of sort of like, you know, at least on this podcast, we've advanced far beyond blaming Netanyahu singularly for anything. Yes. We know that he is, of course, the apex fucking demon. But it's a lot of the times we talk about him and it ignores the societal problem of it, and just in general, the Israeli, you know, Zionism being an apartheid and genocidal ideology. But for that show, and for this specifically, to be pointing out, and it does throughout the, you know, episode through satire, that people having these anti-Semitic, you know, views now more and more is being stoked by Israel and Netanyahu, the number one exporter of anti-Semitism across the world. And this is something that is like, might be like old hat for people who listen to this podcast. But I do think for you know, most people, it is something that they have not fully accepted. It's that the bare truth of that, which is that Israel actually does make Jews around the world less safe, because it wraps itself in a cloak of Judaism and says these crimes we are doing for the sake of all Jews. That doesn't make us safe. It doesn't mean it's the number one thing we should be, you know, focusing on, of course. But for South Park, I was like, okay, at least they said something. I'm happy about that.
Yeah, well, then they've got a Jewish family as one of their main. You know, one of the main characters, Kyle, is Jewish, and it was very smart, and I was glad to see it. I was glad to see it, and I
hope they do more. Honestly,
I hope they do more.
I hope it evolves more so. I
mean, because they're having a lot of fun with Trump. I think they're spending too much time with Trump this season, but the Bibi Trump relationship, never mind Satan. Poor Satan there knitting a sweater, baby sweater in bed at the White House. I mean, if you really want remember from this movie, the relationship between Satan and
Saddam
Hussein. You could, if you gave Netanyahu some speaking lines, if they were really courageous, they would turn him into a speaking character. And
well, let's see where they go with it. But so far, I'm like, okay, I am cautiously optimistic and encouraged. The more the merrier. That's what I say about this.
Agreed.
Now we need to bring in our wonderful guest. I'm so happy she is back. She is a returning Bad Hasbara champion, writer, filmmaker, director, Palestinian filmmaker. Rolla Selbak is here.
Hey,
what's up?
Hey.
Hey.
You all make me feel better about the world. Thank you for having me.
Of course,
Thanks
you
for coming
make
back.
me feel better about the world as well. Rolla, I've been loving the content you've been making recently on your Instagram, and I'm just very excited to have you back. How have you been? How have the last since we last saw you? How have the last few months been?
Yeah, we're all doing our best. I think I told you. We're all doing our best. And I think my heart is broken by everything, but it's also grateful for everything. So it's kind of both at the same time.
I feel you.
Yeah. And if I may say, if I can open, I know that you just did what's the spin, Daniel? But since it was your birthday, 1 or 2 days ago, right? Yesterday, I wanted to give you a traditional Arabi birthday song. Ready?
Oh
yes.
my God. Yes.
How thrilling.
Okay, this is how it goes. It goes, happy birthday to you. Di-di-di-di-di-dim. Happy birthday to you. Di-di-di-di-di-dim. That's all I know.
That was beautiful.
Best birthday.
Yes.
Oh, I love that. Well, I've been watching your content on Instagram, been very much enjoying it. And today we have a lot of content related Hasbara news, I suppose. It's the thing everyone's been talking about, which is Bibi and the Israel lobby's upcoming purchase of TikTok. As many of you know, TikTok has been forced to sell in order to continue being an app available at the App Store in the United States. And there's a sale of it happening to apparently right now it seems as if it looks like it's going to happen. Larry Ellison and Rupert Murdoch and Michael Dell of Dell Computers, who, by the way, a lot of people like Michael Dell gets kind of, I would say, flies under the radar when it comes to a lot of pro-Israel advocacy and stuff. But Dell has direct links to the IDF. And according to documents attained by the Electronic Intifada, they have been, quote, supplying technology for Israel's artificial intelligence assisted genocide in Gaza. So these are the people who are going to be buying TikTok.
I think he's hoping that they're gonna fold his name into a slight rebrand, Israel.
Yeah, he changed it. Dude, you got an ethno-state. So there was recently a summit that happened. This was directly after the UN speech that Netanyahu gave. He immediately from there went on to meet with a bunch of Christian evangelical and American Jewish Zionist influencers. And he has this tweet right here. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu met after his UN General Assembly speech with pro-Israel influencers and spoke with them about the challenges in the new era and the public diplomacy efforts and the influence of the social networks on the discourse for and against Israel. And here's some highlights. Here are these pictures. Some of them you might recognize. Some of these fucking chuds.
I'm laughing, sorry.
No, I mean just look at them. I mean, so we have Lizzie Savetsky's there. We have Zach Sage Fox, who is just a total creep. So many stars in the galaxy. And yeah, just a bunch of lowlives and scumbags. And the highlight from this summit was there was a question asked by one of the influencers about, like, what are we going to do about Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson and you know, the sort of the rightward shift, or less rightward shift, but almost like the shift against Israel from rightists. And Bibi answered it in this way, and I just want to play you guys this video because I thought it was like, I don't know, it was very revealing.
Christian influencers. Okay, you said we talked about the woke right, and you said I call it the woke Reich. That's a brilliant observation.
Okay, first of all, having to sit there and laugh at that is so, I mean, humiliating. Imagine having to sit for the prime minister and he's going like, do you get it? This great joke? The woke life. You understand? Listen to the, I'm sorry, but listen to the reaction. Listen to the reaction to that joke.
Talked about the woke right, and you said I call it the woke Reich.
I mean, it's just, and then he has to tell them it's brilliant.
That's a brilliant observation.
Yeah, no, that's good. Yeah, no, that's really good. That's
I
really
mean,
good.
how
So
pun deprived do you have to be to think that that is brilliant?
I know. I mean, not just say it, but then to talk about how brilliant it is and get
There aren't a
everyone
lot
around.
of puns I wouldn't say if I thought them on this
Sure.
podcast. If I thought that one, I'd be
You'd
debating it long enough that it would no longer make sense to say it.
Right, you would have missed the moment.
I would have missed the moment. Yeah.
Yes. But he then goes on to talk about how.
But also,
yeah.
here's what's funny about that pun, even from his own point of view. Like, okay, so they're the woke Reich, right?
Yeah.
So what's the rest of the right? The Reich?
Oh yeah, that's a very good point.
Like you're using the word woke to modify the word right.
Right.
And then you're making a play on the word right. You're saying that's the Reich. Okay, so it's the unwoke Reich that you prefer?
Yeah, that's a worse Reich. That's, at the very least, it sounds like the woke Reich has some, like, I don't know, some empathy or principles or something. I prefer my Reichs to be third. But yeah, that it is a shitty pun, and he goes on to talk about, you know, the threats. He also makes them equivalent. He says, they're the same thing as the woke left. Which is news to me.
The woke right, because these people, you know, they're not any different from the woke left. I mean, they're insane. They're the reason. A lot of this is done with money. Money of NGOs, vast. Money of governments, vaster.
As opposed to Israel, which is done with what?
Yeah, I think just love in the hearts of humanity. You know, him. I love him blaming money.
Oh my God. Especially after it was like, it's all been revealed, like how he's like directly trying to fund all these like right wingers, like directly,
Right.
and podcasters. It's insane. It's
He's
insane.
He's in a meeting with people who he's directly trying to influence, and he's using Israeli money. He's using his money in order to do so. It's like, this is always the, you know, every accusation is a confession thing, but it's just, at this point, who is buying this idea that there's some sort of like equivalent moneyed interest group that is against Israel? Who's buying this?
That's my question. Like, who is this for? I don't understand like any of it anymore. Like it's obvious that it's not to convince anyone. So what is it? Is it just to keep the core group like
He's trying to train liars to lie in this particular new updated way. It's a system. It's a firmware update for his army of paid
bots.
bots to go out and influence whoever they can influence, like whatever it is they do, like keep that going.
Yes, I completely agree. It is like that's why he started with that shitty woke Reich pun.
Yeah,
because he's telling them, he's like, use that. It's like when when my mom,
I just give you one for free.
My dad does this a lot to me. He says a joke that's not really a joke. It's just a quote from Men in Black 2. And then he will be like, you can use that if you want. And I don't know how to explain to him, like, oh, it's fine. I'll find my own quote from Men in Black 2. It's 100.
Stop making fetch happen.
Yeah, stop trying to make fetch happen. They're all sitting there just nodding along in agreement, but they're not going to fucking use woke right. It just doesn't work.
Man.
But yeah,
or like stop making kvetch happen.
Yeah, there we
go. That's brilliant. You can use that.
Have you, if somebody tries to give you an alternative history of Israel, just look at him in the eye and say, hey, Jay, did you ever flashy thing me? Men in Black. Sorry, that was if my dad was Netanyahu.
He could do a whole set for an hour of just, and he would think that
he would think he was crushing.
He would think it would get better and better with more and more repetition.
It's like that scene in The Sopranos where Tony makes a joke and he's slow motion. He's watching everyone laugh and he realizes, oh fuck, they're just doing this because I'm the boss.
But do you see? But he's actually lost the plot. Like I don't think he's really. Did you see? I forget where he was speaking, but when he equated himself to like Nazi genociders and criminals, he's like, oh, do you want me to talk about other genocide criminals that could be like me? Like, I'm like, what are you even talking about?
Well, we have been noticing a kind of, the antidepressants are wearing off. The SSRIs are not working because
I mean, look at them. Look at him.
Where's the Curb Your Enthusiasm theme song?
By the way, Sarah kills me. I don't know why she kills me.
Sarah Netanyahu also. Her little gremlin ass.
Yes, dude, she kills
Don't feed me before midnight. Yeah. But like he looks like trash and he does look extra depressed. And I think he feels the walls closing in on him, which is just a fantastic feeling. To be one of those walls is an honor and a privilege. But yeah, he's going on to talk about how all of the moneyed interest groups that are out there that are pro-Palestine and how we need to fight them. He's setting them up for the Hezbollah talking point, which is the only reason that we do this, that we spend money on all this propaganda, is because Iran and Qatar and Soros are spending money against us. And so he continues to say this.
We have to fight back. But we have to fight with the weapons that apply to the battlefields in which we're engaged. And the most important ones are the social media. And the most important purchase that is going on right now is TikTok. TikTok. No.
Oh my God. So last episode I said he's taking on full-on second vice principal vibes these days.
Yeah.
Dude, the lean forward. I can't.
Anyone? Bueller?
Anyone? Class? And they don't get it. Yeah. This Ferris Bueller reboot sucks shit.
It does.
Oh my God. Please.
Yeah, man. I mean, straight up, like looking at this moment in which he has to as if anyone knows what the next fucking sentence. What's the most important thing? Everyone's like, followers, engagement. I don't know, man. And he's like, buying TikTok.
He's like, girls, what's my weakness? Men.
TikTok. Number one. And I hope it goes through because it can be consequential. And the other one, what's the other one? That's most important. X.
They're so nervous. He said X, so I really don't want to get it wrong for BP. He said XX, thank God. Thank God. And then I love in the background, you hear someone say, cesspool, which is correct.
X.
Oh,
Exactly.
cesspool.
Very good. And
Cesspool.
so we have to talk to Elon. He's not an enemy.
I mean, you
He's a
really
friend.
don't want to get the
You should
answer
talk to him.
wrong with this vice principal because
He'll kill your whole
in this
family.
school, the detention is administrative. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, it is the worst kind of detention.
Oh my god.
Oh
my
man, but
God.
yeah, so like, you know, he's talking about this purchase of TikTok as, of course, a defensive maneuver. You know, this is of course, you know, her. This is of course like him trying to make it not what it actually is, which is you are trying to buy platforms up and shore up support on social media because you see the way in which, and I'm sorry, but he refuses, and they all refuse to believe this. The way it has organically spread. Pro-Palestine sentiment is a function of not just like the fact that social media exists or whatnot, but it's a function of the fact that you have spent so much time and energy trying to excuse genocide over and over and over again and doing the worst possible job you possibly could do with it. So he can pretend all he wants about like, oh, this is, you know, obviously cuttery money that's coming in. It's not. Actually, it's your money.
Yeah.
The money you're
100%.
spending on these fucking idiots is doing it.
Well,
and
and I
not-
would-
go
go
ahead,
ahead,
Dan,
Rolla.
please. No, I was going to say, and not only is it organic, it is against all odds because
Yes.
there have been very, very strong and blatant shadow banning and canceling people's accounts, deleting them forever. Like, it is against all odds. It is actually against the algorithms. That is how organic and strong that the voices have been. And so
Yes.
now they're just like, we cannot fight this, so we're going to have to buy it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it really is like their last resort, and it's the only tool that they've ever had to use in their toolbox when it came to public sentiment is like, I don't know, spend more money on public diplomacy. This is why, you know, he says in there, you know, he's like, we have to use the correct tools for the battlefield that we're in, and you know, the most important battlefield is social media. I love that that's still their mindset, because that says to me that they were going to continue flushing their money away.
Yeah.
And that's
Yep.
money that's not going towards more fucking murder, directly at least.
Well, and you say that they're doing a shitty job at it. I wonder if that's true. I mean, they're doing like the thing is the job they're doing is a shitty one. It's not so much
Sure.
that they're shitty at it. It's that the nature of the online world now is everyone can see what you're doing, and also
Right.
everyone can see what you're lying about. If it was just there was just a firewall, so to speak, and an actual cone of ignorance, and we didn't know what was going on in Gaza, and all we had to go on was the Israeli propaganda about it, then we could assess whether or not Israel's spinning a credible yarn story that people could, in a vacuum of information, buy. And I would think that there'd be a lot of people who'd be highly suspicious of that, to say the least. But this is against the tide of what we know to be true. So
Right.
the job they're doing is it's analogous to seeing these fucking pathetic chuds sitting around the table with him. You're feeding information to the people who desperately want to believe you, or who expediently, cynically need to believe you to get their nut, you know?
Yeah.
And the rest of us are watching you do that. And so Israel's done a fine job, I guess, feeding the best available blood-soaked talking points to the diehards and the opportunists.
But
It's
I do
just
think
that-
though, Daniel, I
Yeah?
do think though, if I can say, like, I see what you're saying, that like, hey, you know, that's now who they're trying to cater to. But I do think for decades, and certainly for the past 2 years, they have been trying to get that, quote, that middle, the one who are confused, who don't know, who are on the fence, who hemming and hawing, I don't know.
You're right.
They tried so hard.
You're right.
And they did fail. They did do a shitty job. The Noah Tishbis and the I don't know one and the Israel like freaking propaganda, and bringing Elon, like trying to trying so hard to grasp at anything they can, and they have done a supremely shitty job, which of course we're all happy about. But
Yeah,
but
well, that's why we call the the podcast, what we do. But I just wonder could they have done a better job given the assignment they gave themselves, given what they're trying to launder, and given what we have available? I mean, it's like we can never know, but certainly they are, by putting themselves so front and center constantly, we actually get to see them for who they are and who they are now. And they are not who they used to be. They used to have some suaveness to them. They used to have some kind of, Abba Eban was a slick operator, Yitzhak Rabin had a kind of, everyman, scrappy.
A Jew ne sais quoi.
A Jew ne sais quoi to him. Very good. Very, very good.
It took a while to come out of my mouth, but man, what a good one.
That was great.
It was worth it. Man.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, whether they could have done a good job of this or not is who knows. We're not in the alternate universe in which they did do a good job. What I do know is that what they have been doing is no longer sufficient, and they haven't learned that lesson.
Yes.
So this is this ham-fisted attempt at censorship, at like changing the algorithm is going to fail.
It's true. Literally, their entire. I think this is where I'm catching on to what you guys are pointing to. That every time in the last few years they've caught wind of their own failure, what they've done is let's do more of what we were doing. We weren't doing enough. And that's always the Hasbara logic. We need to do more of the thing that is completely blowing up in our face.
Right. Yeah. And to say like, well, one of the signs that what they're doing, is working is the fact that it's still going on. It's like, I think the fact that it's still going on is more a testament to the fact that, what they're really actually good at is not controlling public opinion, but controlling, elected officials and public institutions. Yes. That's what they're good at. What they're good at is making it, is codifying their own definition of anti-Semitism into law. What they're good at is making it so that, using their money so that representatives know who's buttering their bread and scaring elected officials into silence or complicity, by saying we'll fund your, opponents in the next election.
Which is to say, keeping going the system that has been well-oiled, well-constructed, well-fortified over decades.
Yes, this is, again.
The relationship between Israel and the West, both the centers of power and the centers of, mainstream prestige influence, is well established, and they know how to keep those gears greased.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, what they did was they completely discounted the voices of the people. They thought, hey, we have influence over all these institutions. We literally own the mainstream. We have colonized the narrative for decades. Right. Yeah. And to your point, they thought like, oh, there's just a few of these, voices on, of the people. We can literally just do more, just, pass more laws, get the Israeli flag, flown in Culver City High School. Like,
right. Yeah.
But they don't understand. To your point, they haven't learned yet, and they're learning it now because they literally have to buy a whole, social media platform.
I mean,
but they haven't been able to because they discounted our voice. They thought it wouldn't matter, and that's the only thing that matters. And these institutions are becoming so fucking irrelevant. Yeah. They don't understand the boycott that's about to happen on TikTok. They just don't know that that's exactly what's going to happen.
And beyond that, I think what they also don't know is the fact that like half of making content on TikTok is getting around the already pretty repressive algorithm. I mean, this is why people just say unalive all the time. Everything is unalive. They can't even people say Z instead of Zionist. They say H group instead of Hamas.
They say juice instead of Jews.
The one I when people say juice, I'm always a little bit like, that's a little too 4chan white nationalist for me.
Yeah. I remember kids in the playground making juice jokes about my dead great grandparents.
Not that they weren't funny, but
I'm not saying my great grandparents weren't deliciously orange flavored. I'm just saying it's not very nice.
It's not very nice of them. But yeah, I mean, The reason I'm not worried is because they they fundamentally don't understand social media, and they think it's like TV, and they think like, well, everyone's just watching these channels. They look at like TikTok as like, oh, we're gonna take over CNN and make it all Zionist programming,
Yes,
I think
they
they
think
think
it's
of it-
programming.
Yeah.
Well, that's right. Actually, you're right, guys. I think they think it's as passive as TV is. And
Yes.
while scrolling is there's a passive element to it.
Yes.
And we shouldn't lose sight of that. I think it's easy to lose sight of the parts of it that are not passive.
Yeah.
The fact that you're doing the scrolling, and you
Yes.
can click on something and follow the rabbit hole of your curiosity
And interact.
Yes.
and
Yes.
now that interaction, that connectivity in many ways is a deceptive illusion that's bad for our mental health and doesn't necessarily offer real democratic solutions. But for a Hasbarist, it's very easy to make that mistake of thinking people are just, we're just giving them an IV drip of bullshit instead of people curating their own experience and seeking out what feels right to them.
Yes.
Yes.
There's a
100%.
misunderstanding, I think, and it reminds me a lot of when Lily Singh got a late night show. Lily Singh is a YouTuber who got a late night show, and was huge on YouTube. And then she had the show on, I believe it was on NBC. It was like took over the Late Late Show, or maybe that was CBS. Either way, it was a network late night show, and it failed, and it got canceled. And it was like, she has millions of viewers, but they're not watching. And it's like, yeah, the different platform. People aren't watching TV. And in the same way, like people aren't, and apologies to Lily Singh for even bringing her in as part of the conversation, but just in terms of a misunderstanding of like this, of how social media platforms work, I'm not worried. Here's like one of the reasons I'm not worried. I'm going to play a video from someone who was at the summit and has, immediately took to TikTok to talk about, AIPAC. And this is from the account That Opinionated Girl. So here's this video from that.
Yesterday, I got the honor of meeting with Prime Minister Netanyahu as part of a special focus group for Christian conservative Gen Zers, and we were essentially addressing the concerns that we had, right? There's clearly been a growing divide. He wanted to know why. He wanted to know what Israel could be doing better. He wanted to understand where we were coming from, and to his credit, he did listen to us extremely attentively and took in a lot of what we were saying. And from our end, while of course we were polite and we were there also trying to form more unity, we were asking him the hard questions that a lot of people from our generation have been raising concerns about. For example, and the same way he listened to us and took in our criticisms, I'm truly hoping that you guys will listen to the answer. AIPAC. AIPAC is something that I see all the time. Number one, AIPAC is not an Israeli organization. It has no ties whatsoever to the government of Israel. It's not foreign lobbying. It's a lobbyist group that happens to be lobbying for a certain group of people, right? And
all right. So first of all, I just came back from the BB summit in which he was very polite and asked me, is there anything Israel could do better to help you? as if like, I went to Israel and I put a suggestion in the suggestion box, and now everyone's going to have peace.
Well, and it's also in terms of, Israel's surveillance goals, it really is a case of Lumen is listening.
Yeah,
Severance season 2. We really want to hear from you.
Yes.
We are all ears.
Yeah. And
if you want to speak into your bathroom mirror in the morning about what we could do better, we'll be listening.
No, I'm picturing.
We hear you.
I'm picturing going to the Western Wall, and you put a note in.
Put a suggestion.
The Wailing Wall is a suggestion box for how the government could more suit you and treat you.
I was going to make a joke about the Olive Garden suggestion box, but I think yours is way better.
I love that there's an Olive Garden suggestion box.
I remember when I was a kid, I saw like the wooden suggestion. I'm like, wow.
And that's how we got free salad and breadsticks.
Yeah, exactly.
Unlimited. Yeah, but I love coming from this thing, and he's just like, we're spending another additional $150 million on Hezbollah. We got all these, Christian influencers coming. We need them to take over TikTok and change the narrative. And she comes in with the most fucking Hezbollah 101 of like, did you know that AIPAC is not even a foreign lobbyist? They're all American. And like the idea that therefore their lobbying is not for the foreign nation of Israel is complete. I mean, it's obviously complete bullshit. Like to call it, it is true that American donors, it's American Zionist donors, fucking Larry Ellison is a American billionaire super Zionist. The fact that he is American does not change the fact that he is lobbying for another country. So
what
this
does
is
the I stand for in AIPAC?
Is. No, believe it stands for Israel.
Yeah.
But it's
So I mean,
but who knows? Yes, American Israel Public Affairs Committee.
I mean, I don't know. I don't understand.
Yes,
It
but
says it.
it says it right in the name. But just so you know,
America is petting a cat.
yeah, exactly. Meow, 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 meow. So she continues to spout.
And this is not unique to Israel. There are multiple countries that do this, and there's multiple different groups that do this. For some reason, people just attach on to AIPAC, despite the fact that AIPAC makes up less than 5% of the lobbying. So if
the lobbying of total lobbies in all of the United States, in which lobbying is the way in which government gets done,
including lobbies to do with internal affairs having to do with the United States, which is the country where the lobbying is happening.
Right. And also beyond that, yes, there is an oil lobby too. Yes, there is. Yes,
There's
there
a
are.
tobacco lobby.
Yes, there's a lot of lobbies. Lobbies do exist and they all should be talked about at the same time. I agree.
There's a lobby for hobbies from what I heard.
There's a hobby lobby. Yeah.
It's actually funny.
But like, the point that she's trying to make here is, essentially like, what's the big deal? Every country does this. And I love it too, because this is like for someone who's never, or has only ever heard of AIPAC on, like TikTok memes, and has also never seen AIPAC bragging about themselves. Because once you see AIPAC bragging about themselves, you quickly realize like everything she's saying is bullshit. They constantly are talking about all the races in which their people they backed win. They're constantly talking about the people that they are tearing down. I mean, it is, I feel bad for AIPAC to have to listen to someone, kind of like minimize their great success.
If you have a problem with lobbying like me, that's totally fine. I'm against AIPAC because I'm against lobbying. But you can't just hone in on one specific group. If you're going to be against it, then be against it for everybody.
All at the same time.
Moving on from that, we were asking questions about these rumors that Israel has been going out and funding people. And no, none of us were paid for that meeting. But I wish. BB, if you want to write the $150 million check, go for it. But we asked about funding. And as he explained, Israel is not offering to fund anybody. They're not trying to get involved in American political advocacy groups. That has never happened. And if you're concerned about this, who you should be concerned about is Qatar, because they...
Okay, so what I love about the point that she's making here is Israel does not directly fund any of these people. And it's like, yeah, no, I'm sure that that's the case. I'm sure that all of them are funded through their various fucking funders of all of this bullshit. Whether it's, the fucking Tel Aviv Institute, whether it's like they have tons of money that goes into paying for people like that opinionated girl. And also there is part of me that's like watching someone going like, I'm doing this for free. It's really sad to me. Like I truly hope not.
I mean, I don't really know. It's very, very. I'm trying to like analyze these types of people, I'm like, does she really believe what she's saying? You know what I mean? And like, for instance, it's like, I don't really know. Like, I do think that something does happen when you're that close to some, maybe when you're that close to power, when you're that close to like, groupthink in a room. I don't really know, but I do believe she's not doing this necessarily for money, this person. I do think that there's a lot of money that goes in. And I mean, as we know, even from Charlie Kirk, I mean, Netanyahu had him supposedly like they're writing love letters to each other, whatever.
Yeah.
No, she's doing it for clout and influence. That's what influencers are attracted to. And she's decided, being Teen Witch is not enough. She needs to. Doesn't she look like that girl from Teen Witch? You ever see that movie? Yeah. I'm getting strong early '90s cult comedy vibes.
It's definitely a choice.
But she's in the Christian Reich sphere, and Uncle BB's going to feed her some lines. I'm not sure where her beliefs come into it. I think they find a lane.
Yeah.
And they go for it until they decide there's a better lane.
You're 100% right. I mean, even look at her name, that opinionated girl. I mean, you're 100% right. Yeah. I love that you said that now because I keep racking my brain. It's like, actually, their beliefs really don't really play into this at all.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And it's funny that you mentioned that about her name. The most interesting thing that I found out about this was not her original name for her account. She used to be That Zionist Girl.
No!
And here's a picture of her wearing an IDF hoodie. And it's very funny to me you're going to make a video where you're just God. First of all, I just want to let you know that I'm against AIPAC too, but only because I'm against all lobbies. And also, no one's getting paid to do anything. And everything is just immediately.
So I'm against pro-Palestine people, but only because I'm against people who are pro anything.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, I might take back the belief thing. Dude, that's insane.
Yeah.
That is what a find. What a find.
I don't know why she changed it. Maybe she somehow lost her original account login. I don't know. I mean, it's not necessarily that she's made much of a secret out of it, but it is just very funny to me to do a video about AIPAC and trying to trying to play it like, listen, Israel doesn't pay for people to influence anything. That's not what we do at all. I did it for free as That Zionist Girl until my account got suspended for doing porn.
I'm just mad that we can't call ourselves opinionated anymore.
I know. The O word.
Now we have to be the world's, most funniest Jewish anti-opinionated podcast.
We're anti-opinion. I guess we're anti-opinion.
Are doing this. They are going out and funding these universities and these political organizations. Many of these protests/riots that you see destroying our cities.
Now she's talking about Qatar and the other groups, the shadowy dark money groups funding pro-Palestine.
A lot of that has foreign funding from Qatar, and yet people are silent about it, or they're pointing the finger at Israel for something that they're not even doing. The last thing that we really touched on was the aid. People don't know this, but Netanyahu's first address to Congress was to say that they didn't want aid. Jimmy Carter, who was a notoriously anti-Israel president, is actually who started this because he saw that Israel was building up their air force, and he didn't want them to, so he gave them aid that they could only use to buy military weapons from us, and they had to agree to shut down their manufacturing.
All right, so now she's getting into
those white phosphorus handcuffs. Am I right?
Yeah, very nice. But yeah, getting into the fact that America funds Israel through its tax base, and she's saying, "Well, we spoke to Netanyahu, and he's never even wanted the money." Which is okay. Thank you so much for that. I'm sure whatever he said is true, and thank you for your service.
And I'm sure 2 weeks ago he didn't thank a bipartisan group of Democratic and Republican lawmakers who had flown to Israel specifically for the continued military support.
Dude,
I'm sure
he
he
has
doesn't
been
come
here 4 times this year.
This year.
This year.
Just this year.
What are you coming for? What are you meeting like Hexeth for? Like, what are you talking about? Like,
Yes.
I don't understand, man.
Yeah, and every time he comes, it's the running meme is like, oh, he's coming to go get his money and whatnot. And, at the end of the day, to pretend like this pretense of, oh, well, Israel's just some country out there, that's just unfairly picked on. This isn't working. This doesn't work for anyone.
Yeah.
It all feels forced. And the last video I want to show is one that's gone kind of viral again recently. I'm not sure how old it is. I don't think it's a very recent video, but it's Xavier de Rousseau, who is a U.S. Conservative Black PragerU gay Zionist. He's got a lot of identity.
PragerU.
And he made this video with Emily Austin, who is, another right-wing chud. And here is why
I'm
I'm
going to stand in the middle of that intersection. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Here's why I am not worried about the TikTok takeover.
Just to lose the wars so they can cry about it and then try it all again.
You must see anti-Semites are literally obsessed with Jews. Now walk with me.
Okay.
Oh my God, please.
For those listening at home,
So we have Chris Tucker from The Fifth Element.
yeah, we got Ruby Rod, total Ruby Rod aesthetic. He is sipping, a smoothie, and he's talking about the musty anti-Semites who are obsessed with Israel.
Oh my God.
I mean, it's beautiful. You can hello,
hello,
fellow authentic countercultural figures. Yeah, this is the most fucking straight up.
How do you do, fellow kids?
Yes.
Straight up. This is who's supposed to buy this bullshit?
Is so embarrassing. It's oh my. But that's my question.
I know. It's always the question. Who is this for? Who is this for?
It's crazy, man. I don't get it.
I mean, I think it is at this point for no one, and it makes it actual art to me. There's something about it that is like there is an artisticness to it because it is well funded, which feels anti-art, but no one wants it.
Yeah. The question is, would you keep pursuing your craft even if no one wanted to hear it? And these people truly are committed to the bit.
Yeah.
But this is it. It's for this. Actually, it's for the funders. It's like, hey, and this is what the funders think.
That's
is counterculture, right?
That's it. I think you've nailed it on the head. When you ask who this is for, it's for the people who are funding it.
Yes.
It's because they need to play this to their grandson, who is also black and gay. And they're going like...
Or he's considering becoming black and gay.
Yeah, or he's considering it. and he has been sharing some ceasefire now memes. And you want to be like, no. It's actually not cool. It's not cool to hate Israel.
Can we watch the rest?
Oh, yeah, please. Here we go.
While you must see anti-Semites are stacking eviction notices, Jews are out here stacking up businesses.
Jews control all the industries. Maybe if you spent more time taking notes from successful people, you wouldn't have to spend your nights and weekends spreading hate from your anonymous account with an anime profile picture.
I'm sorry, but Jews, it says, you must see anti-Semites are stacking up eviction notices?
Yeah, you're getting evicted while Jews are out here kicking you out of your building because they own your building and they are shifty landlords.
What is he doing?
Wait, is this sorry? When they said Jews own all the business, was that anti-Semitic or are they saying that's like a big
no?
W?
They're proudly. It's like when Jay-Z in his song "The Story of O.J." says, you want to know why Jews own all the property in America? Credit. He's sort of lamenting black people's lack of wealth savvy,
right?
And saying that if you want to know how, so he makes a claim right?
Yes.
A
It's-
broad generalization that a lot of
Because
people
it
were
used to be
offended by.
anti-Semitic to say that, right?
Oh, it
So now
still. Oh, it
that's
still is.
crazy.
But
no, not according to whoever this fucking
no,
kid
but
is.
that's the interesting thing about it is that it's like it just depends on who's saying it. If you're saying it in a positive light in order
Right,
to continue
right.
funding a genocide, then it's okay. If you're saying it and you're against Israel, then of course you're an anti-Semite.
I mean,
And-
we're living in a
insane.
post-Norm Coleman world where fucking
yes.
Norm Coleman went to Israel, went to the Jewish News Syndicate conference and said, what's going on? Why can't we control the narrative? Jews are the masters of the universe.
Yeah.
He literally used that
That's
phrase.
right.
Yes, and just saying like we control Hollywood. Why can't we get control of this dang social media? Like this is a world we live in now, in which people are just proudly, as I say, putting on the octopus suit and just being like, "Why does everyone keep doing the tentacles meme to me?" Because you put on the suit.
This is insane.
Yeah.
This is insane.
But yes.
I couldn't. I don't know. This is actually insane to me because that has been one of the most, like that phrase has been one of the most touted anti-Semitic phrases for
Yes.
decades. And now all of a sudden, this fucking, I don't know who this person, like with a sippy cup,
Yes.
talking about, like
A
saying
sa-
like,
a
oh,
sassy
we know
gay
this
man.
is the truth. Sorry, you can't be cool like us. Like,
Right.
what?
Yes, it's like
With a
yeah,
strawberry Sonic drive-through milkshake.
I know.
And also, who's he calling musty?
I'm not sure. I mean, I think, in general,
You don't know how we smell.
Yeah. First of all, I smell great. Daniel also smells great. Let's not start spreading hate about how we smell, okay?
Do you work as hard as Jews? Do you network like Jews? No, because you're too busy cheering on a group of musty terrorists.
Why everyone can't be musty, dude?
Whoa.
This guy's got one line and it's just talking about musty. But also, do you work as hard as Jews?
Damn.
What are we doing? You know what they say about Jews? Work will set you free. That's what the famous thing that Jews just fucking yeah. Are you on a council of elders? Yeah, exactly. Have you written any protocols? No. Maybe if you got off your ass, stopped playing Nintendo Switch, and started joining various cabals, you too could hold the globe with your many tentacled arms.
You need to stop
is
throwing
so
so many
embarrassing.
footballs and start joining more cabals.
Oh my
It's so
god.
damn embarrassing, man.
It's so
damn
embarrassing.
embarrassing.
We just have to and just have to sit here and get yelled at to work as hard as Jews. Oh God, what do
Who
we
smell like dirty earring backs. And if we're gonna keep it real, you're really mad because your income is giving side hustle.
Period.
How you gonna
Whoa.
hate from outside Shabbat? You can't even get in.
I'm sorry, what?
That delivery. That delivery.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
God,
I mean,
this is insane.
yeah, you just it's just funny watching someone who, by the way, I mean, Xavier is not Jewish, not that it matters, but he is a paid Zionist bootlicker. It's what he does. He works for PragerU, and he's done this.
Yeah.
And if you want to see more of him, there is a great episode of, I think it was Night School, that Mark Lamont Hill did, where he had him on and he did essentially a debate with him. But, it was clear that Xavier was did not want to debate. He wanted to keep it as cordial as possible. And Mark Lamont Hill has this beautiful mode of debate and discussion in which he will very kindly make you check yourself.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
that's perfectly said. I love him so much. I did not
He's
realize that he had an episode. I'm definitely gonna watch it right after this.
Yeah, it is great. And it is like Mark just totally fucking just gets his ass. And the way that, Xavier handles it is kind of feigning ignorance on a lot of things and pretending like, listen, I talk about lots of other things, when he's like I mean, this is a guy who went to the fucking GHF, Gaza Humanitarian, Foundation, aid site. These are the people who are shooting various Palestinians desperate for food. went there and talked about how much aid there was and how everything is fine and how it's just all a bunch of Hamas propaganda. I mean, total scumbag.
Wow.
But we do need to take a quick commercial break. So on that note, do you guys like products? Well, here's some. We'll be right back. And we're back. This Bad as Bara, World's Most Moral Podcast, here with Palestinian filmmaker Rolla Selbak. Hey, doing Rolla?
Hey.
Ho,
By the way,
ho.
you have the distinction, Rolla, of being our podcast guest universe's finest pronouncer of Israel and Israeli.
Yeah, it's true.
No one does it like you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like it because there's a hiss in it.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Israel. I love it's just so.
I feel if I have to say that word, I have to
Yeah.
say an Arabic, I feel.
Yes.
Yeah, you really got the ayin in there.
So, Rolla, you're a filmmaker, and I wanted to talk a little bit about this recent, I suppose, open letter pledge that has come out called the Film Workers for Palestine, in which people are actors and people who work in the industry are signing to pledge to not work with any Israeli production company or anything that is directly implicated in the continuance of this genocide, and not just the genocide, but in complicit in abuses of Palestinians in general, which has been, a kind of a big turn I've seen in the industry in the last 22 months or whatever. What are your thoughts about it? Like, what do you know about this particular pledge?
I signed it.
Nice.
And like you mentioned, like a lot of us in the industry signed it. I think that this is honestly, it's hard because I understand that it's just a letter, and I do know that like my people are still being genocided in Gaza. So it's hard. I understand it might be hard for audiences when I say this is groundbreaking. It's like, well, what is this? It's a fucking letter. But it is groundbreaking if you understand the context in which Hollywood operates. This is actually groundbreaking. This is earth-shattering, actually.
Yes.
Because all of the agencies are the big ones that the talent, and there are some very big name talents on there. So the big
we got Mark
agencies-
Ruffalo,
Yes.
Ayo Edebiri, Tilda Swinton.
Yes.
I mean, truly, like Javier Bardem, Emma Stone,
Yes.
Joaquin Phoenix. I mean, these are
Yes.
names. You know?
100%. And so this is so significant for two reasons. One, because all of the big agencies in the studios are they are run by Zionists. In fact, I was part of CAA, as you know.
Yes.
And of course, the 2nd October happens. It's like, I stand with Israel and like town halls and I don't know what. And of course, I got dropped a few months later as well because of me being so vocal on social media. So they are extremely Zionist. So for a letter to not just say, hashtag ceasefire now,
Right.
this kind of neutral, tepid, all lives matter language. This is like, we are directly not going to work and directly boycotting Israel and the Zionist entity. That is unprecedented. And it is really, truly something to behold. So yes, I understand that, hey, our people are still being genocided, but in the context of the apex, like the core of Zionism storytelling, this is insane. So
Yeah.
I'm very, very happy to see it.
Yeah, same. And that's sort of my thoughts about it too, where I always want to give the preamble. I understand, to all the people who are like, what is this really? Does it mean anything? This feels like, too little, too late, or whatever. Like, after that preamble, I'm like, no, this is wild.
But that
Yeah,
preamble
wild.
applies to literally everything.
Literally everything.
Sure.
That's right.
Hundreds of thousands of people in the London streets. Well, so what? It's not going to
Yeah,
stop the
sure.
genocide. I mean,
Yeah.
my dad often will preface his remarks by saying, nothing any of us has done has likely saved one hair on the head of one Palestinian in Gaza. And that's maybe an exaggeration. There are things we can do. We can donate. Certain families have gotten out. But relative to the scale of the horror and all of the attention on it, I mean, the input to output in terms of result is measly.
Yes.
If we're judging it in terms of, you know,
the meeting the
success we
ultimate
want.
goal. Yeah.
That's right.
Yes.
But
yes.
the longer game, all of these things make a difference. And in an industry like yours, to see something like this, as you're saying, is very significant. Just like this flotilla that's sailing to Gaza right now with 40 or 50 boats. It's an escalation of what's been there before.
Yes.
But now they got a few Navy boats from, you know, so it's like, it's a fortification of something that's been building for a long time. It's a mainstreaming. It's a normalization of the right things.
Yes.
Yes, 100%.
Yes, and I think that word is
Or the
key.
Reich things, if you know what I mean.
More like do the Reich thing.
Do the Reich thing.
Yeah.
That's actually brilliant.
Yeah.
Spike Lee should remake that movie.
More like Spike Lieb. Spike Lieb. So yeah, like it's the normalization of people doing the right thing, and that especially in the entertainment industry is groundbreaking. People. I mean, we've all seen it. We've been calling it out since the episode 1 of this podcast, which is like people are, you know, in the industry, they're cowards, a lot of them, and rightfully so in a way. You know, I don't mean to like, you know, I'm a coward. We're all cowards in different ways. You know, some people are just workers, and they're like, I need my fucking job. You know, that is first and foremost on a lot of people's minds, and the repression is serious here. So to have this, you know,
of course,
happen is a big deal.
Of course, and I will say to your point, I think the important part, the big thing that we all wanted was for people with privilege to be risking their careers, not for people who are desperate and who are just film workers or grips or lighting people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though
people with Sopranos podcasts.
We wanted more Susan
Thank you.
Sarandons, particularly people who hadn't already been blamed for electing Trump and George W. Bush. You know,
100%.
People whose names,
And I will say, and yet the first letter, like the first Filmmakers for Palestine letter, if I'm not mistaken, most of the names on there were people who were not big name people. They were people who were actually risking their careers. Maybe they just started. Maybe they're, you know, in the background. They risked a lot. Yes. And it was shameful to see people who had privilege, who had that FU money or who had that FU career, right? It's like, so what, you know, those people being silent. So now the fact that those people with privilege are not only just signing letters, but putting their names and being EPs on films like the Voice of Hind Rajab film, and, you know, and Palestine 36 and a few others, like that is a statement. And the fact that it happened, I will say, in the context of Hollywood, in the context of this world that we're in, so quickly. Where were we last year versus this year is insane. Yeah. So, and I think you used the word wild, Matt. It is wild. It is wild to witness, and it is a joy to witness. And inshallah, more and more escalations.
I hope so as well. Unfortunately, the usual suspects in the Hollywood sort of Zionist sphere are mad about it, and Variety covered the counter protest, the counter letter, and we're gonna read that right now. Liev Schreiber, Mayim Bialik, Deborah Messing, among 1,200 industry names rejecting Israeli film boycott in new open letter, it advocates for the erasure of art. All right, Daniel, you want to read this?
Yeah. Liev Schreiber, Mayim Bialik, whoa, blossom, whoa.
I know.
And Deborah Messing are among more than 1,200 entertainment industry names who have signed a new open letter denouncing the call for a boycott of Israeli film institutions over the war in Gaza. The letter, released on Thursday by the nonprofit organization's Creative Community for Peace and the Brigade, remember the Brigade? We covered them.
Oh, yes.
Urges the nearly 4,000 signees of the boycott pledge
Hold on.
Adam
Adam just
had a
wrote
good one there, yeah.
Shill and Grace.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Well done. Urges the nearly 4,000 signees of the boycott pledge, including Emma Stone and Joaquin Phoenix, to reconsider their stance. Other stars and industry professionals putting their names behind the new open letter include Gene Simmons, Sharon Osbourne, Greg Berlanti, Jerry O'Connell, Howie Mandel. Oh no, not Howie.
Not Howie.
Jennifer Jason Leigh. Oh, fuck.
I know. Bummer.
Jerry O'Connell. Sorry, I already got him. Lisa Edelstein, Aaron Foster, Anthony Edwards, Rebecca De Mornay, Sherry Lansing, and Chaim Saban.
I love Chaim Saban. You don't say. Famous good Hollywood businessman Chaim Saban is signing the letter.
Real artistic.
What we need is a group of Zionist Power Rangers who will fight against all of the Hamas putties. And don't worry, we can do it on the cheap. We'll just use another show and we'll just splice it in. And we'll only have to pay our actors peanuts. That is
brilliant.
That's
man.
Chaim Saban, Power Rangers guy.
So here's the letter.
It's
We
from-
know the
yeah,
power
yeah.
of film. We know the power of story. That is why we cannot stay silent when a story is turned into a weapon, when lies are dressed up as justice, and when artists are misled into amplifying anti-Semitic propaganda. The letter begins.
Yes.
The pledge, circulated under the banner of Film Workers for Palestine, is not an act of conscience. It is a document of misinformation that advocates for the arbitrary censorship and the erasure of art. To censor the very voices trying to find common ground and express their humanity is wrong, ineffective, and a form of collective punishment.
It's kind of genocide. If you think about it, like to do this is sort of genocidal. You're kind of
You are starving us from our art.
Yeah, you're starving us from more seasons of Fauda.
Look, if they were making the case that, look, you guys are going to end up censoring the next No Other Land, or this new Israeli Palestinian film, The Sea, which has just been selected by Israel, the Israeli film industry, to be its submission for next year's Oscars, right? And it's about a Palestinian trying to make it to the sea, right?
Oh yeah, they mentioned that in this article.
Oh, do they? Okay, right.
Yeah,
right. But it's such a straw man, because what they're saying is that's all Israelis do. That's all Israeli film institutions are about. Israelis are just desperately trying to get the message of freedom and justice out there, and you guys are undercutting that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, as
if that's the rule and not the exception.
Especially since they do actually bring that up in this article.
Lovely.
In which, hold on, it says...
Here it is, yeah.
Yeah.
As the new letter points out, in spite of the boycott calls, much of the country's left-leaning film and TV industry has been standing against the Israeli government at their own risk. Just last week, the film The Sea, which tells the story of a young Palestinian boy who risks his life to go to the beach in Tel Aviv, won the top prize at Israel's Ophir Awards and was submitted as the country's selection for the Oscars International Feature Race. As a result, the Israeli Sports and Culture Minister vowed to cut funding from the awards.
I mean, it's just like, as the new letter points out, there is an Israeli filmmaker who made something that is anti-genocide. And it was, of course, punished by the government. That is, how is that a point in favor of continued support for Israel and the government of Israel? You know,
we don't know. Do we know what the specific stipulations are of the Film Workers United for Palestine boycott? Like, would it in fact say we're not going to work with the production company that made that film or whatever? I don't know. And this is always a question when it comes to BDS related stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like, is that? I'll come out and say it because someone's going to discover it and put it in the comments somewhere. The Myth of Normal, the book I wrote with my dad, just came out in Hebrew in Israel, and it was published by Radical House. I think that's what they're called, which is a radical anarchist, basically anti-Zionist press there, you know, and we chose to get this book about trauma and healing there. And, you know, someone posted a picture on Instagram of it being held up by one of Israel's most prominent Palestinian human rights lawyers, you know, in Hebrew. And I was like, well, I feel complicated about that, but these are the nuances and gray areas of this sort of thing. But that is not the main thing being targeted.
Exactly. Yeah.
By this sort of initiative. We're talking about Gal Gadot is the avatar for normalized mainstream Israeli pro-genocidal society, and the government that would come down hard on the choice of a film like The Sea.
Yeah. And I also, you know, from what I know about the boycott is, or at least the pledge rather, it's about what they deem, and I don't know how they deem it. I don't know what the mechanism for deeming something to be complicit in human rights abuses against Palestinians. But it does seem like they will make informed decisions about that in particular.
Yes.
But I will say this, even if they didn't, even if it was blanket BDS, the way that, like, I believe, you know, the BDS movement took a lot of flack for still boycotting No Other Land. And, you know, wrote a letter explaining, like, this is how we come to the decision. I don't have a problem with that. I agree that it sucks for those particular filmmakers who made The Sea and they want to show it and whatnot, and that it sucks for, you know, if like No Other Land is getting, you know, if it was in any serious risk of actually getting boycotted by pro-Palestinians, when in reality it's being boycotted by literal theater chains and distributors. I mean, that's the real boycott.
The worst it's gotten from Palestine advocates is some
discourse.
Is discourse. It's a bit of a caveat. It's this is a complicated thing to celebrate.
That's the worst it's gotten from the pro-Palestine side. But like, even so, even you know, if that is the case, we do, I think, a disservice to the idea of what the point of BDS is when we say, but what about this or that or the other? What about all of the, you know, activist? It's like, understood, but what is BDS? What is it for? Why are we doing it? And what is the reason behind it? And also, where is it proven to have worked? In South Africa, you know, like, the point of it is the principle of not working with and socially and economically isolating an apartheid state that's doing a genocide.
100%.
Simple. You know,
and this is so disingenuous. It's so disingenuous.
It is
we all know you don't care about this story of a young Palestinian. Like, come on. Like, who the fuck believes that? Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. And I don't know. I think it's so fucking disingenuous for that to be the center of, like, oh, why 1,200 people from the industry, why Hayam Saban like signed on to this. Okay, sure. I mean, no one believes that.
No one believes
I think,
Yeah, I really do think it is, like you said, it is disingenuous. The only reason they would ever even bring it up is for the sake of arguing against people doing a genocide. And to be clear, and we've said this, you know, I think the last time we covered this organization that wrote this counter letter, which is called the Creative Community for Peace, they are explicitly an anti-BDS group. They were created in the wake of BDS. They said, how do we get around this? How can we fight against it? Oh, I know, we'll get fucking Deborah Messing and a bunch of people who no one gives a shit about to be the, you know, the voice for the Israelis. And you know, so yes, that is why it was created. It was created specifically to attack any sort of movement and solidarity between, you know, people in creative communities who actually do want peace.
Yeah, 100%.
Just a little bit more from this article, if you could, Daniel.
When artists boycott fellow artists based solely on their country of origin, it is blatant discrimination and a betrayal of our role as storytellers, Messing said in a statement. History shows us that boycotts against Jews have long been a tool of authoritarian regimes. By joining this effort, these artists are knowingly or unknowingly aligning themselves with a dark legacy of anti-Semitism. This vague thing about being storytellers, like what does that even mean?
It means
like
truly
Netanyahu
nothing.
and the TikTokers are storytellers.
Yeah, exactly. You know, our art is telling stories and not allowing me to tell a story of the time that me and my teen friends did drugs and partied in Tel Aviv is actually a crime against humanity, and it is depriving generations.
Storytelling is a human faculty that we've done for eons and millennia. And the stories we come up with, they're not always true, but they're truer in a deeper sense. And to try to stop a country from telling their story, the story they made up about beheaded babies and babies burned in ovens, is erasing art.
That's right.
This is our art.
This is our art.
Oh my God.
This is our art.
Since the dawn of humanity, human beings have gathered around fires and told each other ghost stories of entire families hogtied and doused in kerosene.
Right.
And skull fucked.
Right. Yes. I mean, it's like, I love being like, I know you consider me a racist polemicist, but I'm actually a storyteller. I'm actually just the narrator of my own truth. And my own truth contains a lot of racist polemics. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. That's part of it.
By the way, this like aligning themselves with dark legacy of anti-Semitism.
Yeah.
That shit really, really gets me. It gets me a lot. Like I don't, how can you, khalas, like there's no more taking it seriously. There's nothing. I don't even understand. I just think it's just so damaging.
I mean,
in
it's
so
the
many ways when they just keep saying
right, because they're continuing down the same goddamn line. I mean, you know, especially as soon as you start saying historically boycotts against Jews, because they're always trying to tie BDS to you know, Nazi Germany doing boycotts of Jews, and the, you know, again, it's this conflation with Israel and all of the Jewish people. And it's just so tired at this point.
Yeah.
Conflating Israeli film studios and tech conglomerates with Jewish shopkeepers.
Yeah, right. With
someone
who's a shoemaker in Warsaw who got his fucking storefront broken into. And it's like,
100%.
no, we're talking about Elbit Systems, you fucking fascist.
Yes. It's like,
yeah.
oh, feel sorry for us. Like, you know, we now own like TikTok, we now own Paramount, we now own CBS, we now own like CNN, we now own HBO, we now own Warner Brothers. Please,
I know,
feel bad for us.
But our stories,
okay.
Yes,
but our stories hashtag. This is
it's so crazy.
While all you musty anti-Semites aren't out there owning HBO and TikTok.
yeah, exactly. You're too busy being evicted by Jewish
being
landlords.
being musty and
being
evicted.
musty. Oh man. But yeah, I mean, you know, the letter goes on and on to you know, do the same thing that we've seen them do.
Yeah,
and
Mayim Bialik next goes on to say that besides, this letter does nothing to stop the war in Gaza, bring the hostages home, or help curb the alarming rise of anti-Semitism globally.
Yeah, and you know what does help? Doing a creating a cabal of Hollywood Jews who are being like, actually, to be against genocide is sort of Nazi. That'll be helpful for us. That'll help curb the alarming rise of anti-Semitism globally, which of course, you know, makes me angrier still, because all they do is contribute to the rise of global anti-Semitism. It's all they do.
100%.
And I mean, it's all they do beyond forgiving a goddamn genocide, and it really is truly disgusting.
Apropos of something we were talking about 6 hours ago, I just thought of brilliant. You heard of Nazi Germany? They had the concept of the superior race. They called it the Herrenvolk.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Well, no, these days we should call it the Herrenwoke. You ever thought about that?
I
Kind
knew
of brilliant.
You know.
Anyway,
Dude,
Matt,
you're
what were you
scary.
saying?
You're
Well,
scary good at that.
Yeah,
You're
this-
I need to lean into the camera. Like,
yeah, that's right. The lean in.
Class?
The lean in.
Anyone?
I really think like if he could just retire and get tried for war crimes,
yes. Hung,
whatever, he could lead some
reincarnated.
great. He could lead some great storytelling classes to his fellow inmates at the Hague.
Yeah.
Like one of those redemption stories in jail.
I would love. Oh, like the movie Sing Sing.
You sing, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Apologies to Coleman Domingo.
really apologies.
That's right.
Coleman.
Please.
We love
sorry.
you and we love that movie.
Sorry.
Fabulous movie. He really missed his calling. As a substitute teacher who fucking sucks. Before we go, I just want to read a little bit of a thing. And it's just sometimes I find an article written by a scumbag and I just have to share it with people. So this is continuing on this concept of this subject of Hollywood and the betrayal of people betraying Israel. Here's from Ynet Global. The article is called "The Capos of Culture: How Hollywood Jews Betray Their Own." And it is mostly about Hannah Einbinder betraying everyone. I'm just going to read you just some excerpts.
Like the
from
capos of the Holocaust who collaborated with Nazis, today's cultural elite trade Jewish dignity for applause. The capos did it all for applause?
Yeah. Well,
Oh my God.
the article sort of does that. They go, but instead of fear for their lives, they're doing it for clout. And I'm like, well, seems like a different thing. seems very different.
Just as the capos of old bargained their dignity for a few extra crumbs of bread per day that might stand to keep them alive a few weeks longer.
Yeah. Hannah Einbinder did this, but knowing she was going to live, which makes it worse. So earlier this week, Hannah Einbinder took stage at the Emmy Awards ceremony, and in that moment, she received not glamour, not courage, not artistry, but the dangerous ignorance of a generation. Her performance was not just another Hollywood act. It was a symbol of how far so many American Jews have drifted from the harsh, unyielding truths of history and the present. There she was, bathed in lights, surrounded by applause, yet also wrapped in a cocoon of blindness. The Los Angeles bubble, sunlit, insulated, and safe, has created a class of Jews for whom October 7th might as well have happened on another planet. You know what's crazy about this sentence is that I think, to me, if that is true, makes a lot more sense than what I experienced, which was a class of American Hollywood Jews in the industry for whom October 7th happened directly to them. And
hasn't stopped
Brentwood.
happening ever since.
Has never stopped.
That's right.
One is far less delusional than the other. I just love, as if, they live as if disconnected from the eternal story of our people, as if the sexual assault of Jewish women.
You can say grape on TikTok.
Oh, that's
Say
right. It's grape. Jewish women and the slaughter of families and the humiliation of entire communities are somehow irrelevant to their politics, their red carpets, and their careers. And what makes Einbinder's silence, her posturing, her carefully curated political messaging so grotesque is that she is a woman.
And I hate women.
And I hate that. I hate women. A woman who chooses...
It's a fact that anything, when done by a woman, is gross.
Is even more gross. It's anti-Semitism, but with cooties. A woman who chooses not to confront the fact that women, Jewish women, were brutalized in the most savage ways imaginable on that Black Day. Yes. So this person goes on to, it is like, it is not anti-Semitic, but if I were doing it with a German accent, you'd be like, oh, this is sort of Mein Kampfy.
I do not say this with hatred.
I say it with sorrow, for I feel pity for someone like Hannah Einbinder. One day, the very people she defends in their ideology, the rage, their rejection of Jewish existence, may turn on her as they have turned on countless others. History is filled with Jews who believe their assimilation, their solidarity, their silence.
Hey, man, you had me at history is filled with Jews.
Yeah, history is filled with Jews. I'm done reading. Tell me about it.
That's why I don't read history. Too many Jews in it.
Yeah, too many Jews in history. But yeah, this person writes this entire thing, and I just want to read this last part. The lights of the Emmys may shine for a moment, but the Jewish story is eternal. If we allow the capos of culture to define us, we invite our own erasure. But if we confront them with honesty, clarity, and courage, we reaffirm that the center of Jewish life is not Hollywood, but Jerusalem. Not applause, but truth. Not assimilation, but survival. That is the choice before us, and it must be made now. Adam Scott Bellows, the writer of this article, is the founder and CEO of the Israel Innovation Fund and the author of the forthcoming book, Never Again is Not Enough. Why Hebrewization is the only way to save the diaspora.
Cringe.
I kind of want to read that book. I kind of want to read Never Again is Not Enough.
I think Never Again is enough.
Never Again.
Give me some Never Again. I'm good.
I'm full, dude.
That's plenty.
No, I couldn't possibly Never Again.
Oh, man.
It is. I love it. Like talking about the Hebrewization of the American diaspora. I don't like it. I don't like it. It is, to me.
But apparently it's the only salvation. It's the only way.
It's sort of the last solution to the Jewish problem.
Look, Rolla, you made a video that got some traction recently about the Hebrew language and the ways that the reasons of why Israeli Hebrew sounds so German as opposed to, say, Semitic, you know?
Yes, that's right.
And there was a lot of great points in it, especially that if we were to hear the Hebrew that these people claim to be tied to spoken, it would sound much more like Yemenite.
Yes.
Hebrew, you know, like
Hebrew,
it would actually be guttural. It would be the way the so-called Mizrahi people spoke when they first got to Israel and were told they had to stop being Arabs, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I happen to like Hebrew as a language. I happen to like its grammar, its syntax. I like some of its idioms. I enjoy speaking it. That's one thing from my Zionist education. Just the language itself. I like conversing with anti-Zionist Israelis in Hebrew. But I do notice that it sounds different when spoken by people with different ideologies. It just like German is like a great language. But when it's spoken by fucking fascists and genociders and whatever, it sounds really fucking scary.
Yes.
And but the Hebrewization he's talking about is erasing what makes Matt and I the Jews that we are in terms of our sensibility, our irony, our, you know, he's talking about steamrolling a whole lineage of Jewish intellectualism and artistic innovation that we're just never gonna never gonna let that happen.
It's the Jewish equivalent of the way Mormons will be like, oh, I'm baptizing Anne Frank, she's Mormon now.
Yeah.
It's like the way that they are, like Zionists are all about the flattening of Jewishness and Judaism and what it means to be a Jew, and it's the reason, you know, why I first, you know, or not, it was one of the many reasons why I first got radicalized to this. I was just like, oh, these guys hate Jews.
Dude, the founders of political Zionism, they were so anti-Semitic.
Yes.
The most vilest fucking quotes came out of their mouths. I'm like,
They
what?
couldn't stop talking about the musty European Jews. Literally.
Yes.
That's what they were like.
They
They're
wanted
like,
to be furthest away.
these Christians are out here owning banks
Yes!
and running countries and colonizing Africa, and y'all musty Jews are over there in the shtetl, smelling like latkes and schmaltz herring.
Nasty ass pickles smell like earring backs.
The hearing back.
Earring back.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, but yeah, it is
Exactly.
Big sip.
It is. Yeah, it's truly amazing, and I love the normalization of just calling people capos. Just the normalization of demonizing American Jews who are anti-Zionist is just it's fun to watch because it's a nice mask off moment for
100%.
Zionists.
And it's actually disgusting. The worst is when
Yeah.
people who are not of Jewish background do it to Jewish people. That is so anti-Semitic. I actually don't understand why people are not freaking out more about that shit. Like
Yeah.
when Chris Como or whoever, I'm like, are you insane? You are talking to an actual Jewish person. In
Yeah.
what world do you have any right to even talk at them about what is a good quote Jew versus a capo or a bad Jew? It's so disgusting.
It's gross, and it's also it's fascinating at the same time because it's like for me, I look at that and I go, oh look, there's an inroad for a systemic version of anti-Semitism. You know what I mean? Like we haven't really had that in a few couple of generations, at least in America. Obviously there has been some systemic anti-Semitism in the past and whatnot, but for at least my lifetime, and it has been pretty non-systemic. And now it's like, oh, there's an inroad for it.
Yeah.
Now there's a
Yeah,
way
it's
for
so unfortunate.
like non-Jewish people to just do anti-Semitism out loud. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, Rolla, just promise us that you'll come visit us in the Hebraicizing re-education camp.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
When they-
no,
when
for
they
sure I'll
round
be
up
there.
all
I
of
can
us.
run a workshop if you like. I got
Yeah.
you.
That'd be great.
I'll run a workshop in Israel.
Yes, please. Hebrewization school. It's every Saturday and it's mandatory. Rolla, thank you so much for coming back on Bad Hasbara. We loved having you.
Thank you guys for having me. And
it's-
Mabruk, Daniel, you're now a chalo. You're now
Chalo.
it's like chalo Daniel.
Oh,
so Mabruk,
shit.
Mabruk. Yeah.
Holla if you hear me.
What did they call Bernie? Wasn't it Amo Bernie? I thought that
Amo,
meant
yeah.
uncle.
Hamo's just general uncle, but
Okay.
chalo because you're the brother of your sister who has a child. So the
Okay,
child will
so
call
like
you
familial
chalo, not
blood
amo.
uncle because
Yeah, exactly. So
they
on the
have a more
mom's side it's
village-oriented-
chalo.
yeah.
On the mom's side is chalo. On the dad's side is ammo.
Oh wow!
Oh.
There's
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
two different words. Okay, great.
Yeah,
I love
yeah,
that.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
congrats to you, Daniel, for being an uncle. And thank you, Rolla. Where can people find your work and follow you on the socials?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram at Rolla Selbak. You can also go to my site, rollaselbak.com, or thevisitormovie.com if you want to find out about my next upcoming Palestinian film.
Absolutely. And we will have links to that in the description. Thank you for coming on. And thank you to everyone out there who is, listening, subscribing. Email us, badasbar@gmail.com, patreon.com/badasbar for all of the bonus episodes. Thanks, everyone, for listening. And until next time, from the river to the sea.
Musty, we will never be.
I like it.
Jumping jacks was us. Push-ups was us. Krav Maga us. All karate us. Taking Molly us. Michael Jackson us. Yama Hakeem